A.T.A. has released their research showing the top 10 concerns that the A.T.A. members have for the upcoming year. Now, the A.T.A. is comprised of big American trucking corporations, and these are a list of the things that concern them. And if you ever think that money's not at the top of the agenda every time, have a look at the concern. Number one concern, the hours of service. Well, do you really think they're fighting because they worry the drivers aren't getting enough sleep? No, they're fighting because it's hurting production, and the hours of service are too restrictive, and it's costing them money. But number two is the one that jumps right out at me. And have you ever noticed that big industry will do 100 different things but actually name the problem and hit the nail on the head? Their number two concern is driver turnover. Driver turnover. They can't retain drivers. Driver retention is their number two concern. But they don't say why they're having this problem. And everybody that drives a truck knows why, but they just don't want to say it. There's not enough money. But by God, they'll come up with 100 different angles and excuses and ways and viewpoints and different ways and perspectives to look at this thing and how to title it. But by God, if it comes to pulling out their wallet, whipping out the money and going, here, we can solve this problem right now, boy, they fight for every nickel. They will not just call a spade and say, these guys just don't make enough money anymore, and that's why they're leaving the industry. You just can't get the big trucking companies to fess up and say that. But it's amazing that they can't see the forest for the trees. But don't ever kid yourself. They can see it just fine. They just don't want to open up their wallets, and they will try anything, I mean anything, to keep from raising our pay. And they've already tried it, as you've seen. How many immigrant drivers do you see on our roads these days? Well, that's why, because those people will work for less than we will. So it helped them solve the problem for a little while, and they filled the seats with immigrants. But even the immigrants are figuring out that it's not enough money to live in this country. So, but by God, they'll wiggle and worm and struggle. They will not say we need to be paid more, or we need to restructure how the truck drivers are paid. And it's the simple truth. That's all there is to it. And the only fair way to do it, I'm sorry to say, is by the hour. Because it's the number of hours that you put in every week for the size of the paycheck that everyone goes, holy smokes, it just doesn't add up to enough. I make better money being the greeter at Walmart, and they leave the trucking industry. Just add it all up, do the division, divide the number of hours you were at work this week by the size of your paycheck, and go, holy cow. Truck drivers aren't stupid, A.T.A. They can do that much math. They can see it. Got to raise the rate of pay. Simple as that. And raise it significantly. And all the tricks and dodges and formulas and whatever else you can try to come up with just aren't going to work. The money's got to be on the table, and the money's got to be in the driver's pockets, or it's just going to be a no-go. It's as simple as that. You guys have brought us to this level by hauling cheap freight. You've got no one to blame but yourselves. Don't whine now. Dig yourself out if you want us to continue. Dig yourself out and pay us more, or find another way to move the freight. We love the job, but we need to be able to feed our families. Pretty simple.